This is Yerushalmi Berachos, Daf Yud Zayin, in the Daf Yomi Yerushalmi. And we got actually to the last 5 words on Daf Tet Zayin on the base, so let's take it from there. Tamanami, in Babel, they said, Lo Yaskil, you should not begin. The Pnei Moshe says, Tam of Babel, I mean, Lo Yaskil Perish Yomer Balaz. Don't start the third parsha of Shema at night. I mean, Miskil Gomer, if you began it, you finish it. Going on. If you start it, you finish it. So the why? Because B'tzias Mitzrayim. So the reason you shouldn't start it is because tzitzis, which is the beginning of the parasha, as Mashbiach actually says this, tzitzis, which is the beginning of the parasha, is not relevant at night. But if you did begin it, and you did say tzitzis, then you will finish it because you need to say B'tzias Mitzrayim. Rabbanan, it should be the Hacha, says Pnei Moshe. Amin maschil ve'no gomer. You start and you don't begin. You start and you don't end. So it's very difficult. When you start and not end, and it says, in fact, mastis and plead Rabbanan Dacha. The Mishnah seems to argue on Rabbanan of Eretz Yisrael because it says maschil B'tzias Mitzrayim baleilos. So as you mentioned, B'tzias Mitzrayim or not. So at night, why would you not finish Vayomer? So the Gemara says, Rabbi Yehuda b'shem Rav, Rabbi Yehuda same name of Rav, Modi Manach Luach. You don't actually say B'tzias Mitzrayim in Vayomer, but rather Modi Manach Luach shel B'tzias Mitzrayim uv'disanu mibeis havrim lehodos l'shmecha. We thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu. He took us out of Egypt, and he redeemed us from the house of slavery to be thankful to his name. Well, Masdisa Pli Rabbanan Tamon. Still, this Bryce seems to argue on Rabbanan Tamon, where it says Vayomer Ein Anoi El B'Yom. Sounds like Kol Parshas Vayomer Ein Anoi B'Yom. Ein Anoi El B'Yom. Sorry, but that's right. The Masdisa Pli the Tamon Ein Anoi El B'Yom. Vayomer Tzitzis is only during the day, which seems to mean Kol Parshas Vayomer Ein Anoi El B'Yom. And therefore, why would you start Parshas Tzitzis at night? Why would you start Vayomer? Rabbi Ba Acha Nachis L'Tamon. Rabbi Ba Acha went to Babel. Chamisu Maschilu Gomer. He saw them that they began Vayomer and they finished Vayomer. V'lo Shmi, I didn't hear, he had not heard, the Tamar Ami Lo Yaschil. Then in Babel they say you should not begin Vayomer. Lo Yaschil Vayomer, V'Yischil Gomer. But if you start, you finish. Rabbi Acha mean Maschil Ve'eno Gomer. It's only in Eretz Yisrael they say Maschil Ve'eno Gomer. So the question is, Bo Kumei Rabbi Achia, Rabbi Zira, Hey Chava Ovuch Nahug. What did your father do? Avik Rabbanan Da'achai do like Rabbanan Da'asam. Rabbanan Eretz Yisrael, Rabbanan Babel. Chizka Mark, Rabbanan Da'acha. That's Machlekes actually. Rabbi Chizka said that he did like Rabbanan Da'acha. Rabbanan Eretz Yisrael. Rabbi Yosemar, Kirabanan de Tamot Hasam, like the rabbis over there in Babel. Rabbi Chanim Stab Rabbi Yosef. It makes sense to say like Rabbi Yosef that the Rabbi Zira actually completed all of Vayomer. Rabbi Zira Machmir. Rabbi Zira's tendency was me Machmir, Machmir, and they also were Machmir to say all of Vayomer, V'avi Nahog the Kavason, and he would do like them, like the Rabbanan Tamon who did all of Vayomer. Now the question is, in all this, obviously, what is the logic of Rabbanan Eretz Yisrael? Why would you maschil ve'eno gomer? So the Mashbiach suggests that maschil doesn't mean they got to the parsha of tzitzis. He actually suggests that it was, they would say that Vayomer Moshe daber b'nei Yisrael v'amarto lehem ani Hashem Elokeichem emes. That would be all that they would say. And they would skip both Tzitzis and B'tzias Mitzrayim, and B'tzias Mitzrayim they do with this formula, which we learned about them before. So the thing is, the Mashbiach is not making it up, because that's really what it says in the Bavli, in Brachos Daf Zayin base. Ami b'ma'arava arvi staber b'nei Yisrael v'amarto lehem ani Hashem Elokeichem emes. So Rashi explains there, Kriyash Mashal Arvis ein korim ba Parshat Tzitzis kula fish ein mitzitzis b'layla, and maschinasa mafsim ba medalgim v'omrim ani Hashem Elokeichem emes. So, in fact, evidently they wanted to get Hashem Elokeichem Emes to connect it to Emes B'Emunah, but they didn't say tzitzis or in Rabbanan in Eretz Yisrael. They would say maschil vayomer. Gomer means you skip both tzitzis and Yitzias Maim, and you go straight to Hashem Elokeichem Emes. Okay, Tani, we learned. Hakori Eshma Baboker, somebody read Shema in the morning. Tzar Laskir Yitzias Maim Ben Yatziv. He has to mention Yitzias Maim in Emes and Yatziv. In the Berachos Kriya Shema, which follows Shema. Remer Tzar Laskir Ba Malchus. Maybe says you also have to mention Malchus in Emes Yatziv. Moshe brings up Malchus Malchuso B'Muraso La'ad Kayames Umalkeinu Umelech Abuseinu. Acherimim Tzor Eskir Bo Kriyas Yamsuf Makas B'Cherim, which we do in Ezras. It's all part of the same bracha. Rabbi Shimon Leimar Tzor Eskir Kulon. You have to mention all of them. Tzor Lemar Tzuri Yisrael V'Golo. That which is our Tzuri Yisrael at the end of that bracha. Rabbi Shimon Levi Amar Lois Kir Torah Ba'aretz. This is kind of out of left field, but it's Rabbi Shimon Levi as well, so that's probably why it's here. That if you don't mention Torah in the bracha of the bracha of Nodeh in Birkas Hamazon, Machzir, so we may make you go back. Matam, why? Or what's the pasuk? Vayitein Artzos Goyim. Because Baruch Hu gave them the lands of the nations. Mibnei Ma, why? Ba'avur Yishmuchel Kov v'Sorosav Yitzoru, because they kept his chukim and his Toros. So therefore, if you want to make a bracha on the land, and we talk about speaking the land, you have to link it to Torah, which is the reason why we can be zoich on the land. Yerushalmi doesn't pick up on this here, but I'd like to note that if that's the pasuk we're using as the source, so it could be that this is also the reason why you have to mention, even though Yerushalmi doesn't mention here that, but we know you have to mention bris, and know that also you have to mention bris, Torah, and oretz, and because bris is called chok, like we say in the bracha, the bris milah. Chok b'sheiro nasan, chok b'sheiro sam, right? And that, so the chok b'sheiro is the bris milah, and evidently it comes from the Zohar Kodesh in Parshas B'Shalach, not the Zohar Kodesh Parshas B'Shalach. And the Sham Som Lo Chok Mishpat Som Yisrael, the Zohar says that the Sham Som Lo Chok Mishpat, the chok refers to bris milah, which is already given as the chok and exera prior to Matan Torah. So it could be that this also can come out of this pasuk. Rabbi Baracha b'shem Rabbi Baracha said name Rabbi im lo izkir bris ba'aretz o shlo izkir b'bonei Yerushalayim Malchus Beis David Machzir. So well, here he actually says it. Sorry, and then we can see the next line that you have to mention this, but he doesn't say based on the pasuk. But it could be that like we said, it is in the it's based on the Lashon B'chok. That Rabbi Yaakov Bar Abba is saying that Rabbi Abba says that he didn't mention bris ba'aretz. And then he introduces Oshloisker B'Bani Yerushalayim Malchus Beis David. B'Bani Yerushalayim we have to say Malchus Beis David Machzir so. Evidently because like in davening where you have the smichos between Baruch Yerushalayim Mircha and Tzemach, and originally the Gemara says it was one bracha. So here too it was we have this idea that Malchus Beis David always comes together with the idea of Bonei Yerushalayim. Rabbi Ila said, Im Omar Menachem Yerushalayim Yotza. If we said Menachem Yerushalayim, so that is sufficient, evidently because the Melchama of Yerushalayim includes Malchus Beis David. The Mashbiach adds Moshe Knoifich to this. He adds this, and he says later on we're going to see that it says Ahein Malka Mashiach that Melech HaMashiach is Rabbi Yudan Brady, Rabbi Ivo Amar Menachem Shmo. His name is Menachem. So, and the Bali Sanesh Dapsai also says Menachem Shmo. So, therefore, Menachem Yerushalayim adds the name of Mashiach, which is from Malchus Beis David. So, therefore, you would be able to both of them. I'd like to go back for a moment to Tzuri Sovagolo. There's a whole tumult here, what exactly Tzuri Sovagolo refers to, because we don't really say it that way. And the Gilyon Shah speaks about it, and other Acharonim speak about it. But I don't think we have to learn it's dafka, this language, Tzuri Sovagolo, but rather it means that we say Tzuri is Tzuri, and then we say go Hashem Tzvos Shemo. So that is, I think, what it's referring to, even though the language is not precise. But again, the Acharonim do go to it and discuss how exactly the lashon fits into what we actually say. Going back to the Gemara, Bar Kapor Omer, Gemara Amar, Koril Avram over Basei. So he calls Avram. Avram violates a mitzvah sasei. It says it's Rabbi Levi Omer Basei v'lo sasei. He says you're over both tasei lo sasei. Leikra ochimcha Avram harei below tasei. That's the lo tasei. Leikarei shulon Avram v'yashimcha Avram harei be'asei. That is Avram is the mitzvah sasei. He's really asked harei and she gets to go Karol so Avram. Actually, that's a Dukam Avram, so in Bavli as well. That's obviously in the Sefer Nehemiah, which evidently was sanctioned by the Anshe Knesset Agdola. So why do we do that? Shani Sha'achu Avram B'chartabo. No, we're trying to mention historically that Avram Avinu was chosen while he was still called Avram. So therefore, it's referencing the point in history was still called Avram. You're allowed to call him Avram in that pasuk. Urkavasa, Hakoy Sora Sarai over Basei. Somebody calls Sora Sarai is over Basei. Actually, it's question. Kavasa, Hakoy Sora Sarai over Basei. Right? The violator say you call Sora Sarai? No. Who needs to have that? Because it says that Avram Avinu should no longer call her name Sarai but Sora, but there's no specific prohibition on anybody else. Who needs Kavasa? Similarly, Hakoy Yisrael Yaakov over Basei. Say something because Yisrael Yaakov, there's a violator say. No, Shenin Yisvasivlo, the second name was added to him, Yisrael, or Rishon Lonei Karman, this first name was not taken away from him. V'lemen Ishtana Shmoshe Avram Shmoshe Yaakov. Why was Avram's name changed and Yaakov's name? Shmoshe Yitzchak Lo Nishtaneh, and the name Yitzchak was not changed. Ilu Avoson, Avram and Yaakov, those forefathers, Ilu, Elu, these are those Avoson, their fathers, Karu La'osa Mishman. They were called gave them their names. Ava Yitzchak, HaKadosh Baruch Hu called Yitzchak, Hashem called him Yitzchak, Shneimar, K'roshma Yitzchak. And therefore, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave him the name, obviously that was the name which was meant to be permanently his name. Four people were given names before they're born, and these are they: Yitzchak, Yishmael, Yoshio, Ushlomo. Yitzchak, because it says across Shmo Yitzchak. Yishmael, the seed of across Shmo Yishmael. His name is supposed to be called Yishmael. That's Hashem to the Malach to Hagar. Yoshio, Hinei ben Olad the base David Yoshio Shmo. This is predicted ahead of time. Shlomo, Kishlomo Yeshmo, again predicted ahead of time. Ad Keduma Tzadikim. This is all talking about Tzadikim, what we said until now. But by Rishoyim, Rishoyim, Zoru Rishoyim Mirechem. Zor is the lashon of Zar, so they were foreigners or strangers, or in this case, meaning anonymous from the womb. In other words, there is a destiny, it would seem, for tzaddikim, which sometimes, at least 4 times we know of, preceded them, whereas Rishoyim, and it could be that it's really a chesed b'Kodesh Baruch Hu, that they're not identified ahead of time, where they should have bechira, that it should not be considered a destiny Rishoyim. And again, they're not named ahead of time, it says here. Eventual future, I'm still not mentioned Tzias Mitzrayim. Why? Matam, what the pasuk teaches us, l'cheini ne'ovim b'ayim num Hashem, days are coming, says Kosh Baruch Hu, lo yamer od chai Hashem asher lo atzmei so be'eretz Mitzrayim. We'll no longer say the Kosh Baruch Hu, who took us out of Mitzrayim, Kima asher halah, asher via zera be'etz Yisrael, but rather Hashem who uplifted and brought the descendants of the house of Israel, from the land of the north. So the Rabban argued with him. Amar lo lo she'akir Tzias Mitzrayim. It's not that Mitzrayim will be uprooted. Mitzrayim, most of Malchus, the Mitzrayim will be kind of like appended onto the redemption of the from those who rule over us in Golus. Malchus Ikar, the redemption from the Golus will be primary, Mitzrayim Taylor and Egypt secondary, but to be mentioned. Going back to the names, Kim Yisrael Yikari Shemecha. Says your name will not be called any longer Yaakov, but Yisrael will be your name. Amru, they expounded that Lo Yaker Shem Yaakov, not the name of Yaakov will be uprooted, right? But rather Yaakov, most of Yisrael, rather the name Yaakov will be subordinate to Yisrael. No, it's the main name, just like we say that the Yitzias HaMalachim Beikar and Yitzias Mitzrayim will be Tafel. So too, by the name of Yaakov, Yisrael will be the Ikar, and the name Yosef will be the Tafel, right? Subordinate. So Ikar is so Tafel. And so too it says, Al Tizkru Rishonos. Don't remember the first ones. Mitzrayim, that's from Egypt. V'karmonios Al Tizbonanu. And the early ones do not pay attention to. And that refers to Elam Malchias. Even the redemption from the Malchias will not be of top most important. Now I'm going to make a new one which will now grow, and only grow very, very, very much. Zu Gog. And it's to tell you about the very last war among the wars of the Gula, which is Gog, which will be the most phenomenal redemption. Marshal they gave an analogy. To someone who's walking down the road. Pagabo Zav. And he was met up with a wolf. And each man was saved from him. He's from Masabra Maisa Zav. He started telling over the whole story of the wolf. Then a lion met up with him. And he told him that he was saved from the lion. Shalcham says Zav forgot about the wolf. He skimmed Masaper Masari and started telling about the lion. And then a snake came up. He said, he was saving the snake. He forgot both of their deeds, and both original deeds and both original savings, and he started telling about the story of being saved from the snake. So the Ami saw the later Tzoros, caused to forget the earlier Tzoros, and by extension, the Gulas from the later Tzoros, which are much tougher, are become the primary stories, with the older stories being the Tafel being of secondary importance. The Gra changes the gears from the Gemara here that so it's in line with the Bavli. Altis Kurishoinos, that's Hela Malchios. The Kadmonios, Altis Banu, Elam Mitzrayim. And then the rest of it basically is the same as we have it in front of it. In front of us, I think. Yeah. Okay. Also told. Finish the first parak. Second parak. Torah. If he was laying in the Torah, and the time came to reach Ma. In Kiven Libo Yotza, if he was Mechaven to be Tishmai Zertzi, and if not, Lo Yotza. But Prakim Shom, they're covered. Between paragraphs, you can inquire of someone, greet him if it's out of respect, Meishiv, and respond. Uva Emtza, in the middle of paragraph, Shom, you can inquire of the person if you have afraid of him. Umeshim, and respond. Divrei Meir. Rabbi Yehuda says, Be'emtza Shom Nayira, in the middle you can inquire because of fear. Umeshim Nea Kavod, and respond on account of Kavod. For program Shom Nea Kavod, and in the between the chapters, paragraphs. Shalom, they are covered. You can inquire because it's covered. Meshiv Shalom Chol Adam and respond to anybody.